Hi everybody, Russ from My Hammers 11. Hope you're safe and well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you're made aware of any time we put new content on. Today it's another episode in our fairly new series, Away Day Stories, and today's story features Derek Gribble, all the way over from California. He wasn't in California at the time of this story, he was back in the UK in the 1970s, and it's a cautionary tale of what it really means to be a West Ham fan. Not only does it, impact on your footballing supporting life, but also your personal life, as Derek will allude to in his story. If you've got a story, funny, sad, poignant, entertaining, please let us know and we'll get you on the next episode. You can either send us an email, type it up, or you can video it like Derek's done, and either or is fine, and you can send them to myhammers11@gmail.com and we'll get you on the next episode. So anyway, hope everyone is safe and well. Come on, you irons, and I'll pass over to Derek. Over to you, Derek.
Hey Russ, West Ham fans bored enough to watch this? Here's my away day story. This is Derek Gribble from California. Back in 1971, I just got back from America on my first visit. Didn't have a job. My mum, I was living at home, said to my brother, who was foreman on a building site, give your older brother a job. And reluctantly he did. So I'm working at a building site in the winter time. Well, the League Cup that year, West Ham was drawn against Cardiff in the second round, played away at Cardiff and drew, came home to Upton Park and we won. Just giving you a little bit of a prequel to this experience of mine. Next round we got Leeds United at home, but still Leeds was a top club then. Well, they consider themselves always the top club, but anyway, they were tough. We drew at home. We had to go away to play at Ellen Road, so everyone figured we were out of the cup. No, we won. So now we're in the third round, and who do we get? Liverpool, another top club in the country at the time, and we beat them at home. So now we're in the semi-final. Pretty damn good, and we're playing Stoke City, home and away. I couldn't make the Stoke City game away, and my brother wouldn't give me the time off work to do it. So I watched it on the telly. We won that game, and Clive Best scored a screamer volley. I get to go to the game at Upton Park though, the next game. Drove up there in my wet work boots, got there just in time. That was a game where all we had to do was win or draw and we were through to the final. But we didn't. We were behind 1-0 and then Jeff Hurst was taking a penalty against Gordon Banks. That's a famous spot in West Ham history. Of course, Banksy saved that. The ball sailed up into the North Bank right next to where I was standing. 40 years later, I'm talking to Steve Rapport and we figured we're probably in the same part of the North Bank right next to each other. But anyway, I digress. So now we're one game each, and there wasn't an aggregate score thing in those days, so we had to have a replay. And this is where we get to the nitty gritty. The replay was held in Hillsborough, Sheffield, which I knew pretty well because I'd had 3 years at college up there, 3 years at the uni. I'd probably been there 30, 40 times. It was a Wednesday game, and of course I had to get time off in order to get up there. West Ham arranged a train. It's actually the first time I ever took a West Ham built train. I'd always used Lacey's coaches and the buses before that. And my brother reluctantly said, yeah, okay, can I have the day off? So I go up there, and this time I got a friend to go with me, my mate Pete, and we go up in my old car, park at St Pancras. Traffic was tough, we get there a bit late. I had to find a spot to park the car near the hotel, run onto the platform, get the train. We get up to Sheffield, and the game starts, and it's bloody cold up there. It was a really cold day everywhere, and it was just getting colder. The pitch was in crap condition. And it was 0-0 at full time, so then they play 30 minutes of extra time, still 0-0 after that, and so the game's over and we haven't got any further, but they're going to be another replay. Well, didn't finish until 10 o'clock. By the time the train leaves the station there, Sheffield, which is closed now, it's about 11 o'clock. With any luck, I'm thinking, well, I might be home at St Pancras by about 3:30. They'll give me half an hour to get home, and I could get a couple of hours kit before I leave to go to work at 7 o'clock. No, that's not going to happen. The train breaks down. I mean, it may have been broken down by the West Ham fans pulling the communication cord, but I don't know. It took us 6 hours to get back to St Pancras that night. Changed engines in Derby or something like that. So it's 5 o'clock now at St Pancras. Fortunately, my car's there. It's got a ticket on it, but at least it hasn't been towed away. So now I'm driving home. Freezing cold day, like I said, or night now. Ice all over the roads. I'm somewhere in Streatham, I think it was, and I see a police car has pulled off, actually skidded off the road, and he's hit a lamppost. It didn't look very good, so he slowed up, me and my mate Pete, and I went over to the car. The copper was in there still. He was a bit groggy. It was one of those panda cars, light blue and white coloured. And I opened the door on his side, and he was just groggy, and I saw his radio there. I was just about to pick it up and call him for help. He said, "No, it's all right, mate, don't do that." I don't think he'd been drinking. I think he just fell asleep or just skidded anyway. Finally, he was all right, so we left him and I drove home. Of course, we're driving real slow. I don't get in until 7 o'clock, the time I'm supposed to leave to go to work with my brother. Well, he sees me driving in and he says, "Are you going to work?" I said, "No, I can't. I'm going to have to take the day off. I'm dog tired, can't work today." So he says, So anyway, I sleep. And when he gets home, 4 or 5 o'clock at night, he says, "You're fired." So that was just a terrible day. I mean, West Ham, 2 hours of football, we never scored, freezing cold, late back, lost my job. They went on to play at Old Trafford and lost that game too. So we never did make the final. I think that just sums up being a West Ham supporter, you know. Our bubbles were flying high for a bit there, and then they faded, and boy, did they ever die. I still support them, you know, who can stop, right? That's it.